Good afternoon. Here is news around the world on Pensioners 106.7 FM, Agbarigo, Onireke Ibadan. I am Laolu, Olatunbosun. First, the top news items. Olujimi takes a seat in the Senate. Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò calls for more proactiveness to tackle insecurity. Nigerian women jailed in the United States for drug trafficking and fraud. And in sports, Werner bags FIFA appointment. The President of the Senate, Ahmad Lawan, has administered the oath of office on Senator Biodun Olujimi as Senator representing Ekiti South Senatorial District. The Court of Appeal in Kaduna had sacked Senator Dayo Adeyeye of the All Progressives Congress APC and declared Senator Olujimi of the People's Democratic Party PDP as the winner of Ekiti South Senatorial election held on February 23. Meanwhile, reports say the Federal High Court sitting in Yenagoa, Bayelsa State, has ruled that the All Progressives Congress APC has no candidate for the Saturday governorship election in the state. The Inspector General of Police, Mohammed Adamu, has cautioned his men against the use of brute force in the discharge of their duties, noting that modern policing required intellect and respect for extant laws, civility to citizens, knowledge, and sound professional judgment. He said the engagement of intelligence-led and technology-guided policing strategies, as well as the renewed commitment of personnel to the mandates, had led to a drastic reduction in crime across the country. Speaking while decorating 13 newly promoted Assistant Inspectors General of Police at the force headquarters in Abuja on Wednesday, Adamu said his administration inherited some security threats, including banditry, kidnapping, armed robbery, cybercrime, and cultism, which he said were being addressed. The IG admonished the new AIGs to rededicate themselves to their duties, noting that their promotion was guided by the principles of seniority and merit, which he said were a clear testimony to the new focus of my leadership in relation to promotion policy. Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò of Yoruba Land, Chief Gani Adams, says Nigeria security units are to form a common front to tackle insecurity in the Southwest and the entire nation. He stated this at a Southwest Security Stakeholders Summit held in Ibadan. Chief Adams, who expressed regrets on the prevalence of criminalities such as kidnapping and herdsmen attack in the Southwest, noted that it was disheartening to know that some Yoruba cynics collaborated with other people to perpetrate evil act. He said for the menace to be nipped in the bud, there was the need for all Yoruba security groups to put aside their differences and come for a common interest of protecting the environment. While noting that representatives of all Yoruba security groups attended the summit, Chief Adams called on Southwest governors to take the matter of security of lives and property serious and carry along the local security units. In a remark, Chief Jimo Aliu, popularly known as Awuru, said the speed of insecurity in the Southwest was already alarming, calling on the Yoruba race to always be their brother's keeper and avoid forms of disunity and hatred. Within the last 4 years, budgetary allocations for pensions, gratuities, and retirement benefits have increased to 705 billion naira in the 2020 budget proposals, from 283 billion in 2016. Besides the increase of 422 billion naira in 4 years, the federal government has also commenced yearly provision of 10 billion naira for the Pension Protection Fund. The Director General Budget Office of the Federation, Dr. Ben Akabweze, disclosed this during the National Executive Council NEC meeting of the Nigeria Union of Pensioners NUP, held in Ibadan, Oyo State, with the theme, The Fate of the Elderly in a Developing Economy. Akabweze, who was represented by the budget manager, Mr. Nuhu Sani, stated that the improved budgetary allocations evidently showed the commitment of the present government towards addressing the plight of pensioners. However, the DG budget pointed out that over the years, the actual revenue had fallen short of projections, thereby impacting on the level of implementation of the planned expenditures, including pensions, as conceived in the Appropriation Acts. The mayor of Ethiopia's capital, Addis Ababa, has taken down an erroneous map of Africa in his office after Eritreans complained. The map in question, which was shared online, had not marked the Eritrean territory, creating an impression that Ethiopia's land border extended to the Red Sea. Takele Uma tweeted that an honest mistake had been made, which required an immediate resolution. He also said the complaint had alerted his office of other mistakes on the map. A Nigerian woman identified as Tammy has pleaded guilty to charges of drug trafficking and bank fraud in the United States and may spend up to 10 years in jail. In a statement by the Department of Justice, United States Attorney's Office, Eastern District of Virginia, Tammy pleaded guilty to the allegations of conspiring with others to import more than 5 kilograms of cocaine. She was also accused of a role in a separate bank fraud scheme and to making false statements relating to fraudulent claims submitted to Medicaid for reimbursement. Tammy has spent the last 2 decades in the United States as a lawful permanent resident. A top United States diplomat told impeachment hearings that President Trump directly asked about a Ukrainian investigation into his Democratic rival, Joe Biden. The acting U.S. ambassador to Ukraine, Bill Taylor, said a member of his staff was told Trump was preoccupied with pushing for a probe into Biden. He was speaking at the first public hearings in the impeachment inquiry. Trump told reporters he did not recall making such comments. Trump is accused of withholding U.S. military aid to Ukraine in order to pressure the country's new president to publicly announce a corruption inquiry into Biden, among their favorites to take him on in the 2020 presidential race. Home Secretary Priti Patel has said the Conservatives will reduce immigration overall to the United Kingdom after Brexit if they win the general election. Senior Tory figures have so far stopped short of making such a commitment before the party's post-Brexit immigration policy is set out. Ms. Patel made a promise and she launched an attack on what she claimed was Labour's open borders policy. Ms. Patel did not spell out in detail how she planned to cut immigration. The Conservatives say they will end free movement from the European Union on January 1, 2021 if they win the election and get their Brexit deal through by the 31st of January. A ceasefire between Israel and militants in Gaza has come into effect after the most intense fighting. Before fighting ended, a family of 8 was killed in an Israeli airstrike on Gaza. 32 Palestinians died in the violence, local sources say, triggered when Israel killed a militant leader. Israel says more than 20 of the Palestinian fatalities were militants. Dozens more Palestinians and Israelis suffered injuries according to medical sources on both sides. More than 400 rockets were fired at Israel by the Palestinian Islamic Jihad PIJ militant group, the Israeli military said, while Israel carried out waves of airstrikes against what it said were PIJ targets. India's Supreme Court has agreed to review its landmark judgment allowing women of menstruating age to enter a controversial Hindu shrine. A 5-judge bench last year ruled that keeping women out of the Sabarimala shrine in the southern state of Kerala was discriminatory. The verdict led to massive protests in the state. Women who tried to enter the shrine were either sent back or, in some cases, even assaulted. The move is likely to anger women who fought hard to win the right to enter the temple. Hinduism regards menstruating women as unclean and bars them from participating in religious rituals. Many temples bar women during their periods, and many devout women voluntarily stay away. But Sabarimala had a blanket ban on all women between the ages of 10 and 50. It's Pensioners 106.7 FM. We'll be back with some sports and entertainment news. United States rapper Kodak Black has been sentenced to 46 months in prison after pleading guilty to weapons charges. The hip-hop star, real name Bill K. Capri, faced a maximum 10 years in prison, and prosecutors had pushed for a sentence of 8 years. The court heard he was alleged to have beaten up a prison guard while awaiting sentencing. U.S. District Judge Federico Moreno acknowledged that Black had made anonymous donations to charity in the past. Black's lawyer, Bradford Cohen, told newsmen after the court was appraised of all the facts and circumstances of this case and the good charitable work that Bill has done over the years. The court rejected the government's request of 96 months and sentenced Bill to 46 months. And lastly, Federation of International Football Association FIFA has appointed former Arsene Wenger, for Arsenal manager Arsene Wenger, as its chief of global football development. Speaking at his unveiling yesterday, Wenger expressed excitement after undertaking the new role with desire to develop the game